Hello, welcome to Wednesday night chat with Nick. Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday night, October 19th. Whew, it's a long week. It has been a long week, and thankfully, it is hump day. How's everyone's doing tonight? Let's see. I mentioned last chat that I had something coming in the mail, and I was excited about it. But as always, whenever I buy something from eBay, I am not too quick to get excited about it until I get the book in hand, and half the time they disappoint me. So this item, not an expensive item, when it's 17, $18. Hello, Note Vision. When it's under $20, it's not anything fancy, expensive, but still, when you get the book and it in not is in the same condition as you thought it should be, is in the pictures, total hassle to have to return the item. But that being said, I did receive something cool today, free, a random act of kindness from a dealer, nonetheless. Nothing expensive. One of the dealer that I bought stuff from in the past, not in recent memory. Okay, definitely not. I don't think anything this year. I don't think anything this year. But for some reason, he remember that I was looking for a copy of Marvel Premiere issue 21. It's one of the only book that is missing from my Marvel Premiere run from 15 to 20 something. Basically, I have everything Iron Fist from the Marvel Premiere books and the Iron Fist 1 to 15. I have every single issue except for issue 21. I don't have that. I inquire a copy from that dealer a few years ago when he had a high grade copy. But then I didn't buy it, and then the heating up of that book, because it's the first appearance of Misty Knight, and the book went crazy. Well, it's not that crazy, but still, it used to be a $5-10 book in good high grades, and I'm not gonna pay 50, 80, or whatever stupid crazy prices that people are selling them on eBay since the announcement of Luke Cage TV show. So he inquired if I still want that copy, and I told him, no way in hell would I, pay 50 or 80 for a near mint. No way. And he sent me a reader copy for free. Hey, it's free. I don't care. So here it is. In the you can see the subscription crease. Okay, there's a subscription crease on both. Evan, put me on listening mode. So yes, here's the book. Okay, it's low grade. It's probably 3 VG. When it's subscription crease, actually it's a decent book, as you can see. But bearing the ugly subscription crease, it's not. It doesn't have nasty. Well, it does have another corner crease here. You can see it right there. But overall, a very presentable copy. Look at the back cover. Not bad. Just a subscription crease as well on the back. Not very visible on the back, but still a nice copy. So I just opened the package before dinner, and I have yet to read it. But now I can read Misty Knight first appearances. Yay! Cheap. Now my run is complete. Yippee! Is it only your Silver Age books that you are downgrading from high to mid grade, or is it the whole collection? For now, Nerd Vision, it is Silver Age. For now, it is Silver Age, and even in some bronze key. Okay, the average day non-keys books, bronze, I don't need to downgrade. Well, I have sold off my 9.8 X-Men bronze slab, so yes, I have already done that. As far as the raw bronze books that I have that are 9.6, 9.4, 9.8, whatever they are raw, I'm fine with them. I don't look to sell them except for the keys. Hulk 181, that one I might hold on for a while, but I do plan to submit my Iron Man 55 that I think should be a 9.4. I do plan to submit that one to sell. I have a Marvel Premiere 15 in a slab 9.4 that, hello, Dr. Von Schiller. So I do plan to sell that one too. That I do need to find a raw replacement. Okay, that's the only Marvel Premiere book that I need to buy a raw copy. The rest I have in raw, mostly high grade. This is the lowest grade one, issue 21. And then for the Iron Fist run, I think I have everything in high grade except for issue 2. Issue 2, I have like a low grade reader. And for some reason, issue 2 is hard as hell to find in high grades. In over the years, it's not that, I haven't looked. I have looked for a high grade copy of issue 2 and 3. I think 2 and 3, mine are like fine-ish. I mean, no hurry. I mean, if I don't find a nice copy to replace, it's not a big deal. Like these days, I'm very much over the need to buy much of anything, in all honesty. So, yes, I will do a video between now and the end of the year to show what I do plan to sell in the next year or two. It's gonna be quite a big stack of books that I plan to get rid of. But for sure, in that stack will be Iron Man 55, my Marvel Premiere 15 slab, and a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of Silver Age high grade slabs. They are going. I will try to sell them myself first before I send them to Comic Link or eBay. So, hello, Robert Finfrock. I'm not sure yet. The one place that surprised me in the past month or so, I just joined Instagram like 2 months ago, something like that, 2 or 3 months ago. I'm a noob. That's gonna be awesome. Next subscriber get first pick. Depends. Subscriber get first dips. There are many people that have already emailed me inquiring many things about many books, and I told them that when and if it's time for me to sell them, I will let them know. For sure, the price will be lower than GPA. Okay, that's all I can say. When the time comes, Mike York, hello, Mike York. So when the time comes for me to sell the books, I will sell them below GPA. How much below? We will see. Yeah. What my eBay name is. I will list it. Okay, but back to what I was gonna say. I'm a fairly new person to Instagram, and I am extremely, hello Jorge, I am extremely surprised at how much selling and buying is going on Instagram. I have not sold one thing, I have not bought one thing, but on a daily basis, I see all kind of transactions going on Instagram. What surprised me is that a lot of time the sales are taking place based on very small pictures. So let me know those that are active in selling and buying on Instagram, how that's going, because I'm very surprised at how people are able to sell books, raw slabs, a lot of raw books, and all you see is like a little pictures. Is this not? Is it's decent pictures, the clear pictures, not the fuzzy bad eBay pictures, but still, I'm extremely surprised at seeing how many transactions are going through Instagram. So I might explore that options. I post quite a few. Well, I think I post like maybe 30 pictures on Instagram, and on quite a few of those pictures of the books, I have had multiple people contact me privately to ask me if I was going to sell those books. It almost make me not want to post on Instagram because I really don't. I mean, I post pictures on Instagram of books randomly, and I don't mind being solicited, but still, I prefer not to be solicited on everything I post on Instagram. Mike York, do you collect any moderns at all or only Silver Age? I buy moderns here and there, very rarely. The last modern books I bought was Dark Knight 3, Frank Miller, issue 1 and 2. I bought that. I bought the first two issue of Ragnarok with Rob Simonson. Before that, I bought a few issues of Five Ghost. I heard good things about it, so I try and didn't care for it. So I do. I dabble here and there with modern books. Even dabble in. I joke about this in some other live chat last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago, when I said I even bought some Lock and Key when I heard a buzz about Lock and Key, and quite frankly, it's for me, it's lock and throw away the key. Not for me. I can't even believe that people jazz about that potential TV show. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Like I said, it's lock and throw away the freaking key. I do not want to see that TV show. Nerd Vision asks, will it be hard to part with those comics? It's not going to be easy. In all honesty, I can tell you. It's never easy to let go of things that I love, but I can do it. I have done it. And I have reached a point of my life. I will turn 50 in a couple of weeks. That a lot of other things are more important to me. I will miss. I'm not going to sell everything. I still have. I have 3,000 books plus, and most likely I will sell a couple hundred next year. I still have a good 10 years left of enjoyment of this hobby, but at the same time, I will start to sell stuff that I don't care to have in my collection anymore, like the high grade Silver Age stuff. So I will start to sell slowly. Okay, slowly. Think about this. If I have 3,000 books left, and if I sell, say, 300 a year, potentially I can wind down the collection in 10 years. Okay, that's something. I'm not saying that I will go down to zero in 10 years, but at least my goal is to let go of a few hundred, maybe 200, whatever, a year starting next year. So the winding down process will kick up again starting next year. It was going hot and heavy. For those that familiar with me, you have heard me tell this story many times. I got rid of 10,000 books. 10,000 books between 2010 and 2014. Those 4 years, it was insane. It was hard. It was a lot of work to give away free stuff and to sell and to consign books, 10,000 of them. Okay, so I did the big slush. And I took some time off last year. 2015 was my enough. But even then, last year I consigned 60, 70 books to Comic Link. So that's winding down for me. Mars Bringers of Comic is here as well. A lot of people. Who that is here? My goodness. Jorge, if you're still here, Jorge, just want to let you know that I shot my first author spotlight on Steve Ditko this morning. Yes, Steve Ditko spotlight. It's gonna be a surprise for a lot of people. It's things that people have never seen. Many people have never seen this kind of stuff from Steve Ditko. That's my hunch. Okay, for those, well, there are some that will be very familiar with what I will show in the video, but there are many people in this community that I am certain have never laid eyes on these hidden Steve Ditko gems. Okay, not the pre-hero monster stuff. For me, this is even sweeter. So yes, next week there will be a video. I will load the video next week, and then depend on how people feel, depend on what people think about what I will show. I will make more videos of these hidden gems. Okay. No, Jorge, not monsters. This like I said, I thought long and hard on how I would approach a Steve Ditko spotlight. I spent a lot of time. When it comes down to Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby, John Buscema, John Romita, many of the giant of the industry, it's hard for me to want to do a spotlight because there are so much stuff. Everybody knows Steve Ditko. Everybody knows Jack Kirby. Everyone have looked at his art. I don't think I can add anything new as far as showing people things that they haven't seen. But when it comes down to Steve Ditko, I think I have found something that I can spotlight that would bring some joy, something new to the Ditko's fans out there that are too focused on his Spider-Man stuff. 99% of the time you hear Steve Ditko praise, it's about Spider-Man. And I hate to say it. His Spider-Man stuff is, I would say, below his pre-hero stuff, and certainly below the stuff that I will show in the spotlight. But that's my taste. Okay, I have no idea what other people will think about what I will spotlight in the Steve Ditko video. But for me, I absolutely think the work that he did that I will spotlight is perfection. Monks, then you pick up a copy of Legion of Monster. I see a lot of those books for cheap. I saw just recently, maybe this week, one of the few times I browsed eBay, I saw somebody selling a 9.2-ish raw copy for like under $50. That's a sweet deal for that beautiful Legion of Monster Neil Adams magazine. More bringers of comic. Are you going to show Ditko's Dracula book? You are getting warmer, but the answer is no. But you are warmer. Yes, Jorge, even sweeter than Ditko pre-hero. Trust me. Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, so I can't say that my taste will line up with Jorge. Okay, so I can't say. Moss Bringer say read his Tomb of Dracula story a couple months ago and was blown away. Yes, I did show Steve Ditko Dracula work in one of the video where I showed the Dracula black and white magazine. I'm pretty sure I did show that one Dracula story that he did, which is decent. But trust me, what you will see next week is better. Yeah, you know, I was not all that jazz on the Dracula story that he drew. It was different. It was neat. It was not the typical Steve Ditko kind of work, but oh mine, wait until you see what I found. I know I'm talking it up so much that by the time the video is loaded next week, people just like, that's it. ETA make a big deal out of this, and this is it. This is all that there is. What a disappointment. So yeah, I'm prepared. I am prepared to get a lot of thumbs down on that spotlight. What else? On the movie front, let's see. There was a teaser that came out today or yesterday on Guardian of the Galaxy. Let me know what you think about it. I watched that 30-second, 45-second, and that's how I feel. I mean, it's I don't get because I know a lot of people love Guardian of the Galaxy. I was kind of like, it was okay. It was not mind blowing. It was not the greatest of anything. And so when this trailer came out, I was like, and I heard a lot of people say, oh, that's awesome. Yay. Not yay. Amongst them, I'm glad I'm not alone. It was okay. It was yeah, I mean, if there was one movie, you know, I am very tough on most Marvel movies. So when it comes down to, you know, whether it's the Avengers or Guardian of the Galaxy, and people are fawning over themselves on how awesome those movies are, how they saw it 10 times in the theater, all that stuff. Not for me. You know, for me, I saw it once. It was okay. I enjoyed it. It was worth the $8.50 I paid. That's it. But Doctor Strange is indeed looking exciting. Did anybody hear the soundtrack? Marvel put out like this trippy music that they look up on YouTube. Marvel released the credit music, like, you know, when you finish the movie and you see the credit roll and the music play. For some reason, Marvel decided to release that 3-minute plus music, and it's trippy. It's definitely not the typical superhero bombastic kind of music. It's strange, pun intended, but I'm telling you, Marvel is doing a lot of odd and strange things to get the buzz going for Doctor Strange, from doing that, 10 minutes or 15-minute IMAX special last week, and now releasing the end credit music. I don't know, a lot of weird things. Let's see. Have you ever collect Harvey comic Casper Richie Rich? Odin is here. Odin. Evans asked, Daring Romance. In all honesty, no. I do like Richie Rich and Casper, the characters. I mean, I thought they. I have seen the books. A few years ago, there were a huge run of files copy of Richie Rich, I think, on Heritage Raw. Beautiful, high grade books. I thought seriously about bidding on them. I don't have any, but in the end, I decided against buying them because you know I passed the point of wanting to have everything. Just as I was explaining to Anthony, a YouTuber, about how I don't have any EC. As much as I love and enjoy seeing EC work, the horror, the pre-code horror stuff, I have resisted buying any. I don't own any EC books because I don't want to get into it. At this stage of my life, I don't need to add another things on a list of things to collect. I'm done. I am done with more things to collect. I mean, the biggest thing that I delve into as far as broaden my collecting um, things is black and white magazine, and that's about maybe 5 years ago when I start to buy and enjoy and read black and white magazines. So that's the only thing is that's the only thing that I added to what I buy. And for the most part, as we know, black and white magazine are cheap, affordable, because nobody cares. There are very few keys. So that's the only thing. When it comes down to EC, they're expensive, they're hard to find. I just don't have the energy or desire to try to hunt them down. Phantom. Oh, hot stuff is good. Marza Brink. I mean, I like hot stuff. Like I said, there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, in a perfect world with endless, with deep pockets, I would have a library full of high grade comic books of all kind. Even Charlton, you name it. I want everything. Okay, trust me. If I have the space and the fun to collect everything, I want everything. Okay, there is no doubt that I want everything because they all fun. Whether it's Richie Rich or Casper the Ghost or Black and White magazine, I want everything, but I can't have everything. Marcus Erebase asked us interesting question. What would be your dream team of artist and writer, dead or alive, and on what book? Woo! Yeah. Wow. Dead or alive? Wow. Dream book. Oh. That is going to be wow. Hmm. Hmm. I'm a huge fan of Neil Adams, and one of my big complaint about Neil Adams is that, for the most part, in the 70s, DC pimp him out to do covers. Okay, um, and he never stayed on any books for any sustainable long amount of time. A few issue here and there, but he never spent like a year in any given title, and that's a damn shame. We don't have, like, you think about many great artists like Jack Kirby, long run with the FF. Gene Colan long run with Daredevil, or John Byrne long run with the X-Men. But when you talk about Neil Adams, all you, for the most part, you have a few issues of X-Men, a few issues of Avengers, a few issues of Batman Detective here and there, a few issues of Green Lantern, Green Arrow. It's just not enough. And if I could, I would love to have Roy Thomas and Neil Adams teaming up for a long run of the X-Men, because I thought it was a damn shame that the X-Men run that he and Roy Thomas started, damn shame, because I think Roy Thomas was a very capable young writer with real interesting stories. Enough credits, in my opinion, because a lot of what happens at Marvel in the 70s, late 60s, have Roy Thomas hands on many of those things. So the nostalgia in me would love to see a Neil Adams and Roy Thomas team up for a long run of X-Men, because by far the short stint that Adams did with the X-Men is my all-time favorite Neil Adams work, bar none, bar none. As much as I love Batman and Neil Adams, I will pick his work with the X-Men over everything else. Okay. Yes, Jorge, tough question. Tough question to answer on the fly, but for now, I go with that. There are just too many. There are so many great artists that just didn't get a chance to work on, just think of all the wonderful Filipino artists that I spotlighted. Many of them are just amazing. And sadly, they didn't get a chance, for whatever reason, to spread their wings in many superhero titles or anything. So, but the easy answer, the easy choice would have been what I just said about Neil Adams, Roy Thomas, and the X-Men. Dr. Von Schiller picked Frank Miller and Will Eisner. Not a bad choice either. That would be awesome. It's, like I said, there are so many. The best thing about Gene Colan is that I think when it comes down to one artist that I felt was able to work with the best character, it was Gene Colan. I felt Gene Colan was perfect for Doctor Strange, perfect for Dracula, perfect for Daredevil. If there was one artist that I said got the perfect assignment over his longevity, lifetime in the business, it would be Gene Colan, because that's one artist I rarely say, oh, I wish Gene Colan get to work on this character. No, he was perfect on Dracula. He was perfect on Daredevil. He was perfect on Doctor Strange. So I don't wish to see Gene Colan in any other places. No, I'm not a big fan of Plastic Man. Plastic Man is just too goofy for me. Monks Dan asked, you like any current artists? I'm a big fan of Finch. Always have. Finch, as long as Finch has been around, I liked him. Capullo, I mean, I think he's pretty good. There's a lot of good young artists out there, but the one that come to mind, of course, is Finch and Capullo. Now, I don't dislike many of the big name during my time, like the Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane or all that stuff. I'm okay with Jim Lee. I'm not overly like, oh, Jim Lee is awesome. He's good, but I don't go crazy on Jim Lee stuff. Nor do I go crazy on McFarlane stuff. No, definitely not Rob Liefeld. Frank Cho is nice. You know, Frank Cho has his unique style. You know, he draw his women a little bit thick. He have a different take. You know, I mean, I got a good laugh with the controversy with Frank Cho and his Wonder Woman. In many ways, I kind of agree. He draw his women thick. You know, always have. Frank Cho has always drew his women that way. So I don't think his Wonder Woman was anything shocking. I mean, that's the way he normally draws, right? So it's not as if he did something a little bit extra for Wonder Woman that gets some people not so happy with the way she looks, you know. Barry Windsor Smith, big fan. Big fan. Certainly, I'm a big fan of, if you you know, haven't seen my author spotlight on Barry Windsor Smith, look it up. You can just do ETA Nick and Barry Smith, and you will see my, I think, 4 or 5 video spotlight on Barry Smith. I like the Barry Smith, the modern Barry Smith. Certainly, I'm not a huge fan of his earlier work, where he started out as a Kirby clone, and it was very clunky, very boxy. The anatomy was not correct. The dynamic of the panels, all that stuff was not very good. You know, if you look at his X-Men 53, for example, woo, and his work on Daredevil, and even Avengers, okay? Only when he start to go into Conan, his style start to evolve, okay? He start to, you see a glimpse of his evolution with the Conan stuff. And by the time he finishes Conan run, you definitely see the change, and I like that. I like his later changes in Conan, and for sure when he returned, wowza! I mean, who doesn't like the Barry Smith of the 80s? The Barry Smith of the 1980s were very different from the Barry Smith of the 70s. The Barry Windsor Smith, I love. Favorite run of Bernie Wrightson? That's a tough one, because as much as I like Swamp Thing, I felt that his later work on, like, say, Frankenstein, it's just mind-blowing, okay? The quality, because Bernie Wrightson style and the way he draws take a lot of time, you know? I mean, sure, the Swamp Thing stuff is pretty cool and great, but compared to his work on, say, the Frankenstein books, wow, the mind-blowing details on those Frankenstein. Every time I look at the Frankenstein books, page by page, the details, the beauty of those pages are just. Oh, interesting, Mark Bringers. As far as Wright Thomas wanted Wrightson on Conan instead of Winsor. Wow, that would have been. I mean, I mean, I can see it. I can see how Conan would work with Barry Windsor Smith's style. I can see it. But man, that would have been something. That would have been something to see Barry Windsor Smith take on Swamp Thing. Wow. On Conan, I mean. No, on Swamp Thing. No, Wrightson, I mean. No. I get everything mixed up and confused. It would have been something to see Wrightson on Conan. Wow. he can certainly do it. It will be very different. It won't be as muscular, okay? Because the way Bernie Wrightson draw muscle, it tend to be more lean and bulky. Yeah, I can see. Kaluta has, Kaluta style. I don't want to say resemble Wrightson, but I can see how Wrightson would do well working on the shadow as well. It's Sean is here. Hello, GPAP. Easier to say GPAP than Jean, Paul, Ace, Peter. Jim Starlin, another great artist I enjoy. For sure, all the authors that I have spotlighted, from Starlin to Bernie Wrightson to Barry Windsor Smith, I like them all. I would not spend my time doing author spotlight if I didn't enjoy their art. The only authors that I didn't like or love that I did some spotlight on was I forgot the name now. There's one artist that I did a series of spotlight on that I didn't love the art, but I thought it was interesting to do a spotlight on him, to show what's wrong with his art, what could have been better, what could have improved, what could have changed if things was, if I had a chance to run Marvel and team up with some better anchors. Lord of the Long Box is here. You're showing up near the end, my friend. Tim, how you doing, Tim? TiVo is in the house. The master mixer. Tim, the debates. It's a debate. I watch. I have followed presidential debates and election closely every year. Every 4 years, I'm always interested in the politics of the country, and I must say that the debates this year, this election, is like a train wreck. You can't help but watch the madness that is going on. Oh, crazy stuff. This is one heck of a crazy election. That's all I gotta say. My God, what the hell is going on with this country? Where has we went crazy? Yes, it's not even a debate. It's a free for all kind of over talking. Kublai Vu for 2016. Yes, I would take your vote. Yes, for Kublai Vu. Yeah, Tim, it must be of old age. I mean, when I was in my 20s, I couldn't care less. That's why I did not register to become a citizen until I was 26. Yes. I could have been a citizen much earlier. I came here when I was 13 years old, and for the first 12 years of my life here, I couldn't give a damn. Couldn't give a damn about politics. And then when I was 25 years old, that's the first time I'm saying, I find this interesting. I find this whole politics thing interesting. So that's when I did the paperwork to become a citizen so that I can vote. Oh, Joe Sinat. I would vote for Joe Sinat before the other two. Nick, did you hear about Stan Lee collectible not being at Stan Lee Kamikaze? No, I did not hear that. Does that mean that Stan's not coming? The only one, John. Are you a baseball fan? I I was a bigger baseball fan when I was living in New York and Boston. I grew up in New York, so I was a New York Yankee fan. And then when I was living in Boston, certainly, it was a lot of fun to see the Red Sox fan and the Yankee fan and all that madness going on. But now that I live in Florida, I follow baseball less and less and less. Okay, in all honesty, I follow baseball less. As far as this year with the Dodgers and the Cubs, sure. Who doesn't, outside of the Dodgers fan? I think most people would want to see the Cubs win, right? But I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. Cause iconic point, as you get older, you are starting to see politics can have an impact on your finance and well-being. Absolutely. When you're young, it doesn't bother you. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't impact your pockets as much. It does, but you don't think about it. You know, you don't think about Obamacare, paying crazy prices for health premiums. It's insane. It's insane. My wife and I and my son, how much we pay for health insurance on a monthly basis is insane. Insane. Okay. Nick, I think you should do a video on all of the books and things you don't give a damn about. I love it when you tell us that you're blunt, and I like it. Thank you, Redbeard. Some people might take offense on that, but I'm a blunt kind of guy. If you know me in person, my wife would tell you that I'm very blunt. Sometimes too blunt, and some people might not like it. But rest assured, as my wife will attest to this, that I meant well. Sometimes saying the right thing. Sometimes there is no nice way to say the right thing. Okay, at the end of the day, I mean well. I want people to not get ripped off. I don't want people to waste their money buying things that not worth buying, or chasing things that might not pan out. Okay, because with this hobby, as you know, in comic books, some people are in it for the investment reasons. If that's the reason, there's nothing wrong with being in this hobby for the investment reason. Nothing wrong with that. But if you are, you better do your homework. Do not watch YouTube videos on hot books alert as an investment source. Let's see what Tim said. Stanley Collectible came out and said they wouldn't be at Stanley Comics because it sounds like a disturbance in the force. It is, especially for Stanley Kamikaze. Does it have anything to do with Stan's health? I'm guessing not. Stan is gonna live forever. Cubs and Indians for the series. That would be cool. That would be cool. As much as I like, the Yankees or the Pittsburgh Steelers or whatever favorite sport team I don't mind seeing some other team winning it. It's okay. It's good for the cities. It's good for the fans to see somebody else win. Okay, I don't need to see the Yankees win every year or the Red Sox win every year or the New England Patriots wins every year. No, we don't need to see that. Nick, would you ever do an artist spotlight on a modern artist? I thought about doing a spotlight on a few modern artists, but I have not. I thought about it, but there are just too many other gems. So I haven't, but the one guy that I thought about doing is this guy, Alex Maleev. Is that? Oh, I love his work on Daredevil. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I love his style. You know, talking about modern books, yes, this I have a lot of this run. It's right here because I have been flipping through them again. So yeah, I have. I would say never. I would say that I would never do a spotlight on modern artists. Someday I might, but for sure, if I ever gonna do one, he will be on top of the list. Mar Bringers of Comics said my favorite two team Cardinals and whoever is playing the Cubs. Tim said investment has two types, just like the stock market. Absolutely. You know, I mean, just like the stock market, you have the long-term blue chip holders, and then you have the speculative buys. You know, for those that play the speculative stocks, you better be quick with your buy and sell. Okay, it's not buy and hold. You don't buy speculative stock and hold. And if the stock, you know, if a speculative stock spike 100% in a day, you sell and get the hell out of it. Just like comic books, you don't buy a hot book. If you have a hot book that you got for cheap and it spike from $5 to $100, you sell. You don't sit there and say, "Oh, I have $100 book. I'm rich." That's not the right move if you are in it to make money. Now, if you're like me, who has some luck in buying many of these books for cheap, it doesn't matter. You know, I enjoy having them in my collection. I don't care if they spike $100. I don't have quick trigger fingers to sell them. You know, so like I said, it all depends on what your purpose and intentions are as far as in the hobby. You know, there are people that enjoy the hobby, like me, who like to buy the books, enjoy it, and sell whenever you want to sell. That's different than wanting to make a profit on your investment or speculative buys or whatever. You have to move quick. If you are buying books because of YouTube videos, you see something, then you better flip it quick. Okay. If you are the end buyers of the hot books, then you could be the one holding the bags at the end. Yes, never pay retails. Perhaps the worst methods of collecting or investing is people that pay retails and expect to make money. Whenever I see people that buy things from dealers at retail price and then trying to flip it, mind blown. Okay, that's the kind of nonsense that I want to say, stop the stupid. Okay, you do not go pay premium retail price on anything. I don't care if it's keys or what, and trying to make a profit off that. No, don't do that. Please don't. Please do not try a quick flip buying from dealers. Oh, hell no. Monks Den, yeah. That's the way. You collect comics to get the ladies. Excuse me. Yes, Jorge, John Romita Jr. do get a lot of hate. He is a good artist on a certain things. Now, if I was going to do a John Romita Jr. spotlight, Jorge, it would be to show the contrast between his work on books like Iron Man when he first started out, and then his work on X-Men, horrendous. Okay, horrendous. I don't care what other people say, but when I see John Romita Jr. work on X-Men in the 80s, holy cow, painful, painful. When I see people say great cover this and that and show off John Romita Jr. covers of the X-Men, no way in hell. The word amazing or awesome or anything does not come to my mind when I see those. But when I look at his work on Daredevil, wow, I like it. I like it. Daredevil, Punisher, even Spider-Man. I thought his work, his later work in recent year with Spider-Man, I thought was fantastic. I like it. I like it a lot. Stop the stupid. That's my slogan. My slogan, if I run for president, would be stop the stupid, not make America great. Stop the stupid. Fortunarelli, hello, welcome. I like John Romita Jr. on Daredevil and Thor. Um, hmm, can't say that I remember seeing his work on Thor. So hopefully, now that you mention it, I will have to take a look. I don't remember seeing his work on Thor, but I'm telling you, his work on Daredevil in the 90s, fantastic. His style was so perfect for the Punisher and Daredevil. I thought it was fantastic. Absolutely. And then when I see John Romita Jr. doing Superman, ah, the pain, my eye hurts. My eye hurts. Kick Ass was good, Tim. I like Kick Ass. You know, it is like I said, John Romita is one of those guys that, with the right character, the right backdrop to the story, it works. Okay, like I said, he's one of those guys that for some reason, like I said, it works for Spider-Man. When I see his work on Spider-Man's, I like it. I like it a lot. Surprisingly, that I like it. I thought for sure that he will make a mess of Spider-Man when he drew Spider-Man, but I like it. And can't say the same about Superman though. Oh, I am in agreement with the fans that didn't like his work on the recent Superman. Yeah, Tim, I agree. I think that's why his Daredevil stuff looked good because when you do the street levels grid, you can really go away from the clean lines. Just like this. I think this is why it make Alex Maleev style work so well with Daredevil. It's just there's something about street level grid that tend to land artists with style that are not clean, neat. Well, it's like Frank Miller with Daredevil, or Bill Sinkovich with Daredevil, or Alex with Daredevil, or John Romita Jr. with Daredevil. It works well. Okay, I'm sure it will work well on, say, like Moon Knight, that kind of character. It just does not work well with superhero like Superman that have superpower kind of action. It doesn't work well. John Romita does not. That's why when he was drawing the X-Men with all the superpower, with all the power, superpower fighting, it looked awful. Awful. I hated. I hated his X-Men work. Hated. I couldn't wait for them to replace him. Why doesn't Ditko get as much respect and or credit as Kirby? Good question, Tim. Good question. I think my take is that, you know, he didn't create as many big characters as Kirby did, and he left too early. You know, he left Marvel a little bit too early before the explosion of 68 and beyond. He left way too early. You know, he left his imprint on just Spider-Man and Strange Tales. I think that's where it hurts him. And then on top of that, it has to do with his personality, in my opinion. You know, the same thing with Kirby. I think the reason why Stan Lee, this is just my opinion, I know what I said may irk a few people, but when it comes down to Kirby or even Ditko, they got much less credits and fame because Stan was such an outgoing personality compared to Kirby. Kirby, from what I can see, is a very nice man, but he's not a showman. Okay, he's not Stan the man showman. And Ditko is very reserved. You know, you can be great, but if you don't speak up and self-promote yourself like Stan the man, you're not going to get the kind of attention and the credits. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. I agree, Jorge. I would like to see, I wish there was more Kirby Spider-Man. I wish there was, but we will never know. I just look at the time. It's 7:57. How time flies. I must say it has been a very lively chat. 20 plus people. Normally, I barely get a dozen people in. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in today and keep the chat going. It was a lot of fun. And yes, I can't wait to see the reaction of the viewers when I load the spotlight on Steve Ditko, because I think it's going to be unique. Okay. I thought long and hard on how to spotlight Mr. Ditko. And I think I was able to do something unique to showcase his work, self-promoting. I would love to write to Steve Ditko and say, please watch my video. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But I still might write a letter to Steve Ditko just to let him know that I had done a video to showcase his work, and I hope he give it a shot, even though I know it's slim to none that he will even read my letter. Night, Mossbringer. The only one, John. Thumbs up, Nick. People support his channel. It's okay. I am happy with what I have. Okay, I'm telling you, this channel grow, and for the most part, I don't know what people find interesting, because it's not. My channel is very different from the rest of the other channel. Okay, it's nothing new here. No new comics, no Wednesday hauls, none of that stuff. So it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And whoever it is that drop in and say hello and find my stuff interesting, that's all I can do. I can only be myself. Peace out, Tim. Peace out. Bye, everybody. Bye, Nerd Vision. Bye, Really Illy. Bye, Robert Frogs. Thank you, everyone, for stopping in. It's 8 o'clock, right on the nose. It's time for me to chill. Okay? Time for me to chill. And this Sunday, no show. Before I go, this Sunday, no show. Okay, so do not plan. I will not be able to do a Sunday chat. So I will replace it with my Steve Ditko spotlight.